Hello to my Libras. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. All right, happy new moon in Leo. Let's get right into it. All right, hopefully everybody is preparing to have a peaceful weekend. Let's get into it. Let's see what's going on here. Let's set the tone for your reading. I've already prayed over your cards. Let's go. Eagles fly above crows. Talking to you wherever Libra is in your birth chart. You are ruled 7th house. So 7th house is all about relationships, right? Right? Doing the shadow work so that you don't stay in any work or personal relationships with open enemies and not knowing it, right? Staying connected to any past relationships with any energies and not know that they are open enemies, right? So you want to do your shadow work. All right. So we are currently in Leo season, and Mercury is also in Leo. Mercury is retrograde in Leo, so you want to slow down and get any messages, any downloads, meaning any memories, because Mercury, let's see what else is retrograde. Pluto is retrograde, so you're breaking generational cycles, chains, and curses. So it's retrograde in Aquarius. So you're going to have to get away from all the distractions to make sure you can hear the messages loud and clear. You can't have a bunch of chaos and confusion going on. So that's why new moon, new you. Get away from the distractions so you can hear clearly. You're an air sign. You want to hear things clearly. Because whatever generational cycle, chain, and curse that you're breaking, you want to make sure you get the message. You want to get the message. You want to get out in the air. Let's see what else. Neptune is retrograde in Aries. So that could, and Aries is ruled by the Tower card. So that's total recall. So that's total, as far back as you can remember, as far back as Source will allow you to remember. Let me put it that way. Because Source may not allow you to remember everything all at once. Basically based on what you can take, at a time. Because, of course, you still got to keep, it's like you're trying to remember your work. You're trying to remember just, day-to-day things so you're not overloaded. And then Saturn is also retrograde in Aries. And then at the end of the month, 31st, Chiron will go retrograde in Aries. So all that information is on my TikTok. It's also on my YouTube shorts. So just to kind of prepare you for what that looks like and some of the rituals that you can do. So let's get into it. So eagles fly above crows. You want to make sure you're not carrying anyone else's energy on your scales while you're trying to break generational cycles, chains, and curses. Let's go. All right. 5 of Swords is exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, you're not trying to get into any arguments with people at all. So that can look like people cutting you off in traffic. That can look like people trying to get you to remember some things that you really don't remember because you're trying to process your emotions, right? So here was King of Swords here. So, yeah. You're trying to be as clear-headed as possible. So you really don't have time for mind games at all, right? So here we have Ace of Pentacles here. So something is coming across your path, right? Something very valuable is coming across your path, like a raise or a promotion, some kind of a new venture, something very valuable. So you cannot make room for anything extra on your plate as an air sign. So that's any extra thinking about some painful something in the past, because you got some kind of you need to be as clear-headed as possible. So obviously it's something that you are trying to prepare for. So it could be an opportunity coming through that you prayed for. So anything other than what you prayed for, you're gonna have to close something out. You're gonna have to close something out. Any past memories of something that you going back in your mind, write it down, toss it into a burning bowl, call your energy back as often as you need to. As many times in a day you need to call your energy back, call it back, close it out. Here, Ace of Wands here. Because you got a lot of ideas of what you want to do moving forward. You can't have any distractions, none. None. Here we have waiting for results. You're making some plans. Yep. So you're taking a leap of faith. It's some things that you're trying to do. You're taking a leap of faith. Some things that you've been speaking into existence here. So yeah, I feel like there's some kind of a new venture here. So somebody may have applied for something. Maybe, excuse me. Like I said, it could be a job for someone, because I see a whole lot of opportunities coming your way, Libra, for some things. And so you just don't, it's like trying to put something extra on your scales, where because other people are starting to remember some things, and people are trying to reach back out to you, and they want to talk to you about some things from the past. As gracious as you possibly can, just let people know, you have to get back to people at a later date. Now is not the time. It's just not the time. At least until you can get to whatever it is that you prayed for. Something is just going to have to, you're going to have to park something for a minute, like park a thought, and just let people know, to get back to them as soon as you can. But this is where you call your energy back, where you call it back. So some things may need to be put into a burning bowl. That's one way of you can do it. And you can also create, like, you can create something to call your energy back. From people, places, dimensions, and things that don't serve your highest purpose, without harm to anyone. And that's just basic communication. Just letting people know, hey, listen, I'm not dismissing you. Right now, I got, a lot of things that you're working on. And right now it's just not a good time to talk about whatever, especially if it comes across as argumentative. It's just not a good time to talk about certain things. Because you're waiting on something you're waiting on. So that sounds fair. I mean, to me, it sounds fair. And I'm just reading the cards. You're waiting on something. So, and I'm just channeling energy here. Yeah, so you planted some seeds out in the universe. You've been praying for something, and you're waiting to hear back. And it sounds reasonable. Like if you're communicating with someone that, hey, it's like you're starting from the beginning. You're starting at Ace of Swords, right? So this is what I'm picking up. So somebody may come to you and may ask you about something from the past, right? Why did you say this? Why did you say that? Why all of a sudden? Because I feel like somebody, almost because it's two sides of the sword, I feel like somebody may be thinking that you're playing some kind of mind games when it's really not. You could have had a total recall of something, right? Let me give you an example. Like with sword energy and the fact that Mercury is currently retrograde, for instance, you could have slowed down, and your zodiac sign is Libra. You could be reading legal books. You could be, and this is a year of 9. 9 is like spiritual law, philosophy, religion, those kind of things, right? So you could be reading religious books. Something could have triggered a conversation, right, that you may have had with people, right? And so people may be wanting to come back and kind of talk about it. But if you've already called your energy back and you're waiting on something else, that seems reasonable. If you say you understand that somebody wants to talk about something, but you're waiting on something for right now, so you can try to get back to them within a reasonable amount of time. When you think about what is a reasonable amount of time, here's the 4 of Wands here. Yeah. So, yeah, that would seem fair. Let me see, 4, 6, 7. Yeah. So 3 and 4 is 7. So 7 of Wands, because I'm seeing something being closed out here, right? So once something is closed out, because somebody may be asking why. So we're seeing something. It's like you're already thanking Source in advance that something is closed out, because you're getting some downloads already. So you already, whatever it is that you prayed for, you're already thanking Source in advance. So this is really a faith walk. So fire would be like a faith walk. So you're saying to Source, you're thanking Source in advance. So, for example, Four of Wands is like you're celebrating something. So you could be celebrating, let's say, for instance, you prayed for a new love, right? That could be one. Or let's say you prayed for, maybe you're adopting a pet, right? Because that's a big deal. People do adopt pets. And you're waiting on, in the adoption process for pets is literally like you're adopting a child. You go through background checks. I mean, all of that. So that could be something. You could be waiting on some kind of a certification. It's something that kind of like, I won't say has you nervous, but you're waiting on something. But that's what the Two of Wands is. And so you waiting on something, you really don't need your time divided, right? So somebody needs to put all of their energy towards faith, right? Not fear. It doesn't need to be divided, faith and fear, right? So you're calling all of your energy back. So your energy doesn't need to be scattered, if that makes any sense. Your energy doesn't need to be scattered. You putting all your energy in something is going to speed it up. Your energy doesn't need to be scattered. So in other words, your energy, you're not trying to carry someone else's energy on your back. Because it feels like some energies may be having, like, wondering, like, why now? Like, okay, why? What? Some people maybe thought about something and just start having questions, right? Here we have the King of Cups here. King of Cups here. And then the World card. So I'm seeing a Saturn return here. Saturn is currently retrograde in Aries. Aries is first house. Rules first house, excuse me. First house is about first impressions. Empathy, like understanding, control, that kind of thing, right? So someone sees, whoever you are, if you have kids, or if you're just a pet parent, you could be a pet parent. Somebody thinks that you're a great parent. Somebody thinks that you're empathetic. Those kind of things. See, we have the Three of Cups here. Somebody thinks that you are a great friend, and all of those things. But nevertheless, bottom line is, Source is saying your energy does not need to be scattered at all. This is where, again, you are a very powerful leader. You're head over heart. Be disciplined. Be truthful and transparent. Your energy does not need to be scattered. Here's the Three of Cups here. Yeah, your energy doesn't need to be scattered. Yeah, so you call your energy back. Somebody's going through a major life change right now. So the Seven of Wands here. 6, 7. So two things are closed out. Two things are closing out here. So I see you feeling fulfilled. Here's the Queen of Cups here. Here's the Fool card. So Source is saying, see, when you leave the, distractions behind, of just like getting into arguments with people, or like friends, or like just anybody. When you think about like 11th house, like, just because you're doing things differently than people expect for you to do things differently. And so it's like, yeah, you're doing something different. This is what you have in common. This is what you're learning that you have in common with people. Like, okay, you need to leave the distractions behind. You're trying to aim higher. Calling back all your energy. That's how somebody's going to finally be able to get some rest. In other words, what you're learning how to do is you're creating a boundary and you're enforcing boundaries. This is where you're saying, okay, you're not going to be foolish anymore. You're not going to let energies pull you back into a conversation about something when you're waiting on something. Here's a Four of Cups here, where you feel like your back is against the wall. I feel like what somebody's going to do now is just kind of sort of tap in through prayer, right? Here's the Queen of Swords here. Put your emotions under lock and key and say, okay, I'm thinking logically. Thinking logically. Here's the Ace of Swords here. Yeah. So, looking at the Ace of Swords here, and just get real clear. Get real clear-headed. And that's what I'm seeing here. Somebody's getting real clear-headed. So, a new job or something could be coming through. This is a breakthrough. Because something almost like gave somebody a breakdown. Like, you know, just kind of overthinking something. Here's a Nine of Wands here. So, it's something you're not going back to. Somebody's not going back to overthinking something anymore. So, good. Again, you're learning how to call your energy back. Energetic clearing. That's what it is. Calling your energy back. During crisis, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. All right. Confidence is key to your success. Confidence is key to your success. The divine. All right. I think that's it. Let's just get a number here, and we're going to go ahead and close this out. Somebody just doesn't need, somebody's learning how to not have their energy scattered all over the place. 3, I am charismatic. Expression comes naturally to you. You are very skilled at communicating your thoughts through conversation and creative pursuits. You are able to get others on board with your ideas. Right? So some kind of inspired action was taken here. So whoever inspired you, that's what it's all about, being part of the human race. Here to inspire. Again, you're calling back your energy. That is what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. See you all in the next video. Bye.